Today, we are looking at the Amcrest Wi-Fi 1080 deterrent camera. It is Wi-Fi powered by a USB cord. You can use one of those phone charger, but it has to be 2 amps or greater. Near the USB cord is the QR code. You will need this QR code to add to your network. This is a very compact camera. It has speaker as well as microphone. Here's the speaker down the bottom. The microphone is somewhere here. Pop the top off using a mini crowbar, and then you'll see a microSD card slot right in there. By comparison, this is a 9-volt battery, so you can see how small the camera is. So looking at the camera, this is the main camera, this is the infrared, this is the LED, white LED. Cord is very long, it is about 9.5 feet. If you want it to be longer, you can always cut the cord and then add an extension yourself, because the power is only 2 cords, nothing special. It's not a 5-cord USB, it's just 2 cord. The camera comes with a bunch of accessories, so you can mount this on the wall, ceiling. There's also cable clamps, so that way you can mount it neatly instead of having the cords all over the place. So go ahead and install the app, and let's get this thing on your network. Go ahead and install this app. It's called the Amcrest SmartHome. Install and then click on Open. I already added 1 camera, but you can go ahead and add your first camera by clicking on the plus button on the upper right hand corner. Go ahead and scan the QR code that's on the camera. It should be at the end of the USB cable. If you can't scan it, go ahead and click on manually enter serial number. Click on next or next after you successfully add it via the QR code, and then go ahead and follow along to add it into your Wi-Fi network. Your Wi-Fi network has to be 2.4 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz will not work. I know some Google router is 5 gigahertz exclusively, so it will not work on those 5 gigahertz. Let's double click on the cameras that you just added. Mine is the front door. You can change the quality from HD to SD. HD is much more higher quality, but the internet has to be super fast or else it will be very slow. SD is more fluent, but of course the quality degrades significantly. You can talk, and the other side on the camera will hear because there's a speaker built in. There's also a microphone built in, so you can listen in if you want. Click on Siren if you want the camera to play the siren for whatever reason. It is very loud and annoying, so don't do that unless you really want to. Click on lights if you want to turn on the lights. Next, if you want to click on the strobe so that will turn on and off. And then next, off to completely turn the lights off. We are in live view now, so we're seeing whatever is happening now. You can also watch cloud recordings because it is motion activated, and whatever is motion activated will be back up to the cloud. 3-day recordings is free for 1 year. After that, it's $2 a month. You don't need it because everything is recorded to the microSD card. So scrolling through the timeline, you can see whatever is blue is when it was motion detected and it's recorded to the SD card. If you click on device information, it will let you see all the serial numbers, the MAC address, the IP address that's on. You can change your password here, as well as the name. Night vision is automatic, so at night it will turn on the infrared. Continuous recording schedule. I don't have the continuous recording schedule on because I know that's a great way to kill the SD card, but if you do, go ahead and turn it on here. Go ahead and add email alerts if you want to get email alerts every time there's motion trigger. Most likely you don't want this because you'll get a lot of false positive. Indicator light is when there's motion activated. Do you want the lights to turn on or off? I turn mine to be on. push notifications do you want to get notified on your mobile phone? And if so, what is the schedule that you want to be notified? Because you might get a lot of false notifications and you might not want to have that push notification on to your phone every time. Motion detection. Here you can set up the schedule for when motion is detected. So if you know during rush hour there's going to be a lot of vehicles going back and forth the front door, you might want to change the schedule here. Motion sensitivity by default is 3. This does not have AI, so it does not know whether there's a person or vehicle passing by. If a leaf is falling in front of the camera, this will trigger the camera because it thinks there's motion. It's comparing the image before and the image after with absolutely no AI, as I mentioned before. Set region of motion detection. By default, everything is selected, as you can see. I'm going to hit clear zone, then highlight the area that you only care about. I'm going to go back and change everything again to all blue. Hit save. If motion is triggered, do you want to email yourself? Email the snapshots of whatever happened. Most likely you don't want this again because you might get a lot of false positive. If motion is detected, do you want the siren to play? Most likely not, because that will annoy the neighbors. I have mine to spotlight activation only, so that if motion is triggered, it will turn on the light. This camera does not label ONVIF anywhere on the packages, okay? But for some reason, my Amcrest NVR was able to see it as ONVIF for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if other NVR can see the camera on the network, but my Amcrest NVR was able to. So here is the settings if you have the Amcrest NVR. By adding this camera into the NVR, you're able to record 24/7 without fear of damaging the microSD card. I really like this camera. It's small, compact. It doesn't look intimidating as the other PoE IP cameras that I installed before. This is pretty good for non-critical stuff. I mean, I wouldn't install this in a restaurants. I would most likely install this in homes in non-critical places that doesn't require 24/7 recordings. It also has RTSP, so you can always use that for home assistant or whatever applications you want, such as VLC. Here is the RTSP address if you want to use that protocol. So overall, I'm very impressed with this camera and what it can do. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.